Oh, yeah. A little late, but better late than never. Here we are for the April 27th edition of Break On Through. I'm your host, Jeffrey K. Clayton, the long-haired weirdo, the unimpeachable president for life. Oh yeah, y'all coming in there. You're waiting on me. There's some oatmeal in there, I see. I see a bunch of you coming in. I can't read your name, but I see you. I saw oatmeal. Yeah, come on in, fellers. Come on in, ladies. We got any ladies watching Break On Through today? Stefan. How's it going, my man? Martin, I am very well off right now. Jason, I'm doing okay. I gotta tell y'all, it's been a rough couple of weeks since me and Miss Clayton went out of town for Katie to give birth, and little old whippersnapper's here. He's healthy. He's doing good. Don't think I'll get him on today's show. Maybe here in a couple weeks. He'll make his first live appearance. You are correct. Today is the birthday of the First Lady, Mrs. Clayton. So if y'all can either get to my post on my page or go to her page, drop her a little happy birthday, it'll sure make her feel good. She don't get home tonight until, later. So, no birthday activities and hijinks until later on. Yeah, I was kind of frazzled. My workstation was messed up. I got my hibiscus tea, but I didn't put no ice in it, because I was in a hurry to get in here to break on through. Y'all gonna be okay if I dart out for a minute and get some ice? Will you be all right with that? Malcolm just texted me and says technical difficulties. Is everything coming through okay? Is everybody here? I'm getting a bunch of thumbs up. I suppose everything's fine. These old allergies are getting to me. It's not COVID-19. I don't do designer sicknesses. This is just good old-fashioned allergies. So y'all be okay if I just dart out right quick and get some ice in this cup? Tell you what, I'll put this King Kong right here to entertain you. Well, he may fall. There. Watch that for a second. All right. See, that wasn't any longer than one of my brain fart pauses or nothing. You didn't have to stick in there too long. All right. Well, today's show. Over the last couple days, I got a lot of suggestions from a bunch of you of what you want to hear about. You see, it's not really so much of what I want to talk about. I don't talk about anything. Now, you guys that come on here and go, GG, you can just go on YouTube and look through the past episodes, because I've probably done 4 or 5, I think, talking about Gigi. I'm not going to talk about that every time. We did way more, and but I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me on, as Malcolm says, Facebook, and telling me what you want to hear about. Now here, I made a list. I ain't lying to you. And you know what? I'm going to talk about each and every one of these, but not tonight. I'm going to pick one and talk about tonight. But I'm going to run down this list and tell you what, people want to hear about all the toys and the TV from our youth. Man, that's something I love talking about. My buddy Mike Thrower and I are still working on this room some, and whenever that's done, I'll be happy to show you guys every bit of it. Even the stuff that might make you cry. A few people just today asked about wanting to hear about Come Get Some. That was the zombie movie produced by our buddy Jason Griscom. And you know what? I got in touch with Jason Griscom today and said, hey, people are asking about Come Get Some. I was like, how about you come over here with me one day and we talk about Come Get Some together, and I try to make it to where it's us looking at you, talking to you, not me and him talking to each other. So, I think Jason understands that concept, and I think it'll be very informative, because Jason's really good with the dates, and that thing was his project. It was his baby, so he's going to know all the exact details. So, my main Dennis was talking about, hey, why don't you talk about some of the cover art on the ANTiSEEN LPs, the photographers, the ones you liked, ones you didn't like, why you didn't like them, why you liked them, covers in general that shaped the way we did things. So what we were, because everything is based on something you've seen and liked in the past. And we're no different. And I'll show you where a bunch of these ideas come from. You may be very surprised. Dennis also mentioned specifics about Europe. The days of tape trading. Man, I could talk about that. I could do 3 episodes on the days of tape trading. Someone's asking if we've been to Australia. We have never been to Australia. We've had many records released in Australia. But in all these years, no promoter, booking agency, anyone has ever reached out to us and wanted to bring us to Australia. The land of rose tattoo. They don't want to bring all ANTiSEEN over there. It's like I think they don't want to bring us the old Muddy Roots this year. But I mean, what are you going to do? But Dennis also brought up the days I did a fanzine. You guys didn't know I was a proper little punk rocker when I first moved here to Charlotte. And the connections I made through it, which some of them last to this very day. That was the early 80s. And he also mentioned talking about more soundtracks. I can talk about soundtracks all day, too. My main Mang Mondo wanted to hear about the anniversary shows. You know, people say, well, yeah, they started at, 5, right? Well, yeah, they went to 5, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. Why 9? That good old hibiscus tea. Who said that about Cosmo? That thing, a picture of Cosmo making a good tea. You're right, it would. It's a damn good one. A damn good one. See, this is how things happen when we bounce ideas. It's not just me and the guys in the band bouncing ideas, man. Like, I got friends that play in bands, and I got friends that don't play in bands, never have played in bands. And we talk and we bounce ideas off one another. Me and Miss Clayton bounce ideas off one another. You know, it's like, but I've told you guys, just because an idea makes it to the table, don't mean that it's going to happen soon. Some ideas take 30 years to happen. I'm not saying, you got to wait 30 years to see your idea come true, but I don't know who said it. I'll look afterwards. Said something about that Cosmo picture making a damn good t-shirt. I agree. I agree with that. I don't know who said this. This might have been Dennis as well. But he said, seeing as this past weekend you did a Judas Bullethead show live on Facebook, why don't you talk about Judas Bullethead and some of the side projects? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Did y'all see it? Well, I couldn't really give a too far in advance heads up because it's one of them things where it was kind of touch and go. We didn't know if it was going to happen or not. So we started putting up little teaser things on Friday night when we were pretty sure Friday night it was going to happen. Saturday morning, Tom was still on the way. Everything was good. See, I was in Raleigh. You might be asking, Jeff Clayton, what the hell are you doing in Raleigh? Well, the answer is, you see, I have a special automobile. I have a classic car. A 2001 Jeep Cherokee Sport. And I happen to know a man that could take that thing apart and spread the whole thing out on the street and have it back together even better than it was before in record time. That man is Mr. John Adam. God almighty, these allergies. John Adam. Auto mechanic extraordinaire. What I do, I go by Big John's house. I leave the damn Jeep there. My brother comes and gets me because he lives in Raleigh. And I hang out with my brother all weekend. Hang out with my sister-in-law a little bit. Then, Big John always says, oh man, I might need this, I might need to keep it till Saturday or Sunday, right? But man, he always gets under the time, he says. I've learned that about you, John. But he's my main that fixes my stuff, so I make the drive. Oh, yeah, okay. It's a long way to drive to get your car worked on, but not when it's someone you trust. It's not going to rake you over the coals and will do a good job. And I get to hang out with my brother, who I don't get to see near enough. He's a busy man. I know some of y'all have posted your pictures. You got your pics from Janice. Our friend Janice. There she is. See, look at that. Personally signed. All you gotta do is go to her link. You can just write her a little email. Hey, Janice. I dig Hills Have Eyes. Give me a Ruby picture. Sign it to Hoss. She'll sign it to Hoss. That's all you gotta do. Oh! I got an announcement. Let me get a little bit more of this good old hibiscus tea. Have any of you out there ever heard of the Straight to Hell toy company? I see some thumbs, some hearts, some shocked faces. Anybody ever heard of that company? Come on now, you got to tell me. I know we're on a delay and I'm waiting, but I ain't seeing nothing. There's Jason. Jason knows Straight to Hell. Adam Wolf says, no, I ain't never heard of it. Straight to hell, boy. Go straight to hell, boy. Well, Straight to Hell Toy Company does action figures in the tradition of the Super 7 reaction figures. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? Card, nice card picture, little tiny figure about this big. Well, guess who is going to be made into an action figure by Straight to Hell Toy Company? Oh, yeah. Now, don't be bugging me about, hey, when are you going to have those? I need to buy one. Everything's in planning stages right now. My main Doug that runs the operation, he's getting ready to have another kid, so that's going to put things, back a little bit. But no worry, family first, action figures second. Well, from my understanding, as of this day, there will be two variants. Red overshirt, blue overshirt. Different card on each one. So, that's something we can all look forward to. I probably won't have them for sale. I'm getting some, but I don't know if I'm going to sell them all. But I will tell you where to get them as soon as they come out. All right. Trusty Nathan Trusty says he's getting both of them. Nothing can stop him, he says. That's the kind of enthusiasm I like. Happy birthday to Ace Fraley. You see him right there? See him on a motorcycle? Happy birthday, Ace. So, The Judas Bullhead show, man, it was just done on the spot. Bam. Tom got in. We sat down at the table. We made out a set list. Hey, do you want to go over these? Yeah, we'll go over them. You know, wrote a few words down. Bam, right into it. I was very pleased with it. I had a lot of fun. It was only about 20 minutes. But, how did Judas Bullhead start, you might ask? Who's wanting to know something about some correspondence? What's a good email address? Jeffman. ANTiSEEN JC at yahoo.com is the presidential email. Me or one of my assistants will see it. I'll get back to you. Okay. I gotta not touch this phone. You know, I'm not a fan of side bands, projects. Some of y'all listening to me say that right now. Goddamn, Jeff Clayton, you're the damn king of side projects and side shit. Yeah. Sometimes they're just done out of necessity and to avoid getting stagnant. Hell, I've had members join the band and not even do their first show yet, already talk about side project. God dang. Yeah, not a fan of them. But the Drastic EP, ANTiSEEN's first record. Judas Bullhead's first EP, If They Itch, Scratch 'Em. Honest is Just a Cold Sore. And Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats EP all came out around the same time, and it was very early in the band's career. Too early to be having a bunch of goddamn side projects, I'll tell you that right now. But I guess at the time, I mean, I'll just tell you what's what. At the time, I guess Tom and I wanted to play in a band together, but there just wasn't any room in ANTiSEEN at the time. We thought we had our lineup. Boy, we didn't know how that door was going to keep constantly swinging. Tom eventually made his way in there and stayed in this band for a long time. But we wanted to do something, and I guess around this time, early 80s, is when I just discovered deep catalog stuff of Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart and stuff like that. And man, I know some people are just like, oh man, I can't take that stuff. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. But I love it. I love it. And I wanted to do something like that, in that vein, but not lose, not lose 2/3 of ANTiSEEN's audience in the process. So we did it different. We did something different. We did a little. It all started with a band we did on the first show that ANTiSEEN ever did. We were just kind of taking a piss out of that whole hair metal, heavy metal stuff. And making fun of it by having a group called Jeff Leopard. See, I was bald-headed then, so I put on a long brown wig. Go out in a pair of white long johns. You know, kind of like a brunette Jim Dandy, I guess. But the very first show Jeff Leppard ever did was October 1st, The Barn. And honestly, I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember Tom played guitar and he changed his name to Judas Leppard. So anytime we dealt with Jeff Leppard or later Judas Bullethead, Tom was Judas Leppard. And I was Bullethead. How did I get the name Bullethead? It all stays in that tight-knit circle I've been telling you guys about this whole time. That came from going to see Scott Savage and the Streets at Freedom Park at a thing they have at the beginning of fall. I think they still do it. I haven't been to one in almost 40 years, but maybe. But the Streets were playing. They were playing on the stage where the Carolina Clowns were doing shows. And here I am, you know, with my bald head, my black leather jacket, my black jeans, and my big work boots. I didn't know about Doc Martens back then. I bought Carolina boots, steel toe. And so I'm right up at front to see the Streets. And no one would come to the front. So Scott, always the clever guy on the mic, he just out of nowhere says, "Hey folks, never mind the bullet head," pointing at me. "He's a personal friend of mine." And so, you know, people started milling around then, you know. Great street show as always. But that's where the name Bullethead came from. Scott Savage named me Bullethead. So, well, man, we only did Jeff Leppard a few times. We even put out a cassette tape, live at the Yellow Rose. On the cover of the cassette tape, I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, the cassette tape or the 7-inch that Malcolm Tent put out. Only Malcolm Tent would put that shit out, you know. But there's a girl leaning all on me. She was kind of a famous person in her own right. Hope Nichols from Fetchin' Bones. Yeah, her first claim to fame, or not her first, but one of her early claim to fame is she was the girl on the cover of Jeff Leppard's Bitches Die Tour, 1984. Well, to say that's an exercise in patience would be being very kind to that release. I'm thinking you had to be there for it to be funny, but I don't know. Malcolm sold some records, I guess. The ones that didn't sell, he had a big burning ceremony in his parking lot of his store. And he said it was completely out, so he would make sure it was completely out of print forever. So that's a rare record. I mean, if you ever come across it, it's not a good record, but it's a rare record. If you ever see that, most people aren't going to know what they got. And they're going to probably put it at 25 cents. snag it. Hell, I'll give you 50 cents for it. But man, like I said, we only did Jeff Leppard a few times, and then Tom and I just wanted to. It's not that we wanted to be more like a real band, but we just wanted full control over it. So the first thing we ever did with Judas Bullethead, he and I did everything. The drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, everything. If there were keyboards in the first one, I don't remember. But any percussion, we did it all voices. And some of that stuff wasn't even rehearsed before we went in the studio. We did it in the studio as it was. That's the first time, and that's the way you got it. We had a lot of fun doing that record. I mean, I guess I pressed 300 of them. Yeah. They were going pretty quick, though. I don't think we stuck around. We didn't have copies hanging around for like 5-6 years or nothing. Tom, anytime Tom sees one for sale, he buys it. So, but I guess around the time though. But when we did that first record, we actually did some shows too. Man, the first Judas Bullethead show was opening for a, I guess they were a local, not local Charlotte, but regional. It may have been from the Triangle or somewhere. A regional band called the Pressure Boys. And they were kind of like ska. They didn't have the whole ska gimmick and all, but their music was that, you know. And we opened for them. There was a big crowd at the Milestone, too. People really liked that band. And I think we blew some minds that night. Man, the first 3 shows we did with Judas Bullethead are all on video. And I would one day like to get those transferred to DVD and maybe put out that. You know, maybe get someone that can do a little bit of this. Because some of those are real dark. Had to be lightened up a little bit. But Judas Bullethead played the Milestone. We played a club in Gold Hill, North Carolina, which ended in my wife at the time, her parents and friends getting into a big fist fight with the people that ran the club at the end of the night. So that was exciting. And that was the night also where we first crossed paths with Sir Barry Hannibal. He was playing bass in a group called SDI. He wasn't Sir Barry Hannibal yet. I hadn't knighted him. No, Barry, I didn't even know him. We also played the International Club in Charlotte. And those were 3 Judas Bullethead shows, and we didn't play another one until 25 years later at the ANTiSEEN 30-year anniversary party, I want to say. And then after that, we played 2 shows in a row, Charlotte and Chapel Hill. We put out 3 records. We keep threatening to put all those 3 records out again, and maybe with some, or maybe just put out a record of all the stuff. Man, we got stuff in the can that we never released. Oh yeah, I ain't lying to you about that. Good stuff too. But so there you have Jeff Leppard, Judas Boy. See, Judas Boy had never gotten in the way of ANTiSEEN. You know, it never. We were so infrequent in doing things that it was just never a factor. But I did enjoy playing in a band with Tom. And that remedied itself sometime around 87 when Tom joined the band, joined ANTiSEEN as bass player when Joe Young came back. Which leads to another side project. But it wasn't a side project at the time it was happening. Joe moved to Atlanta. He up and moved. Wrote me I wish I still had it. I may somewhere. He wrote me a nice letter saying, man, being an ANTiSEEN has been a fucking thrill, you know, but I just think this is something I got to do, man. I need to move on. I hope you'll continue. And so I did. At the time, Doug Throgmorton was playing, and he stuck with me. And I got a couple guys out of Maiden, North Carolina, because they were playing in a band that opened for us called Rager. And they were into all the horror stuff. I know one guy's name was Phil Rogers, and one guy's name was Eric Burke. I've been in touch with both of them in the last 15 years. They both seem to be doing. Eric Burke plays in a band now that, you know, before y'all's government shutdown, they were playing pretty often. I think they had a little bit of following. I can't remember their name, but it's good to see people, you know, continue do what they love doing. But we were going to be ANTiSEEN. That's what we were aiming for. We recorded a whole album's worth of stuff. The album was going to be called "We Are Going to Eat You." Tagline from the Italian movie Zombie. Most of it did come out on an EP, though. Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats. With the Brenton Wood cover, Oogum Boogum. Soul classic. My first stab at something like that. I haven't listened to it in years. I don't know. I don't remember if it's good. I remember being pretty proud of it at the time. Those guys all being into horror and stuff too is how we worked up Walking Dead. A song that stuck with us and ANTiSEEN redid, and it became a staple, and especially in our Halloween shows. But so we're still going to be ANTiSEEN. It's still going to be ANTiSEEN. We recorded the 4 songs that later got re-recorded and are known as the Blood of Freaks EP. Up All Night, Hippie Punk, I Wish I Had Killed You When I Had the Chance, and I Don't Need You. All four of those songs were originally done by the band that later became Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats. Why did it become Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats? You might be asking right now. Well, Joe came back. When Tom and I drove home from work one day, we came pulling up and Joe Young standing in the yard. Man, we knew he was back. And sure enough, as soon as we get out, hey man, what's going on? Hey man, can I stay with y'all for a little bit? I'm gonna try to find me another place up here. I don't even think we went, well, when do we start? We just knew, well, Joe's back in ANTiSEEN, so ANTiSEEN's going to be ANTiSEEN again. Hey, we ain't got a bass player. I got Throgmorton, so we got Throgmorton, Young, and me. So I just say to Tom, well, Tom, why don't you play bass in ANTiSEEN? Was it because you played bass before, or because you were playing bass in Juice Boy? No, you're a guitar player. But we'd rather have our friend in than some egghead that plays the instrument that we don't like. So that was the classic Blood of Freaks lineup, just kind of appeared. But now you got the issue of I'd gone to the damn studio, recorded this album. I kind of wanted to get something out of it. So I said, you know what? I'll just put out. Well, first I showed the guys my 4 favorite songs off the record. They agreed they were good songs. But let's do these, and let's go ahead and get ourselves out there again, like, you know, ANTiSEEN this is the way we're on it. That will also be the beginning of what ANTiSEEN would become and pretty much stay. That was like the blueprint. Anything before, we were still kind of experimenting, kind of not knowing where we fit in all this, you know. Blood of Freaks is what it, in a way, it could be considered the first, you know. But so I went ahead and put the rest of the record out. There were some tracks I left off. But I said I'll just make it a side project. It doesn't sound like ANTiSEEN. I mean, it's got me singing on it, but the playing, no offense to Eric and Phil, but the playing was too clean and neat. Wasn't as reckless. So it'd be a side project. And you guys are familiar with the second ANTiSEEN t-shirt that we ever made was the picture of me holding the chainsaw with a Leatherface mask on. Remember that? That was actually a outtake of the photo session for what was going to be the cover of We Are Going to Eat You, the new ANTiSEEN record. Nothing goes to waste. We use it all, somehow. Eventually. Hey, I see my main Melvin Whitlow is watching right now. Melvin, I got the Blondie book today. Thank you very much, brother. Last week, Melvin was posting stuff on his Facebook page. Hey, look what I found, man. Look what he found that old Lester Bangs Blondie book. And I'm just like, oh, man, I wish I had that book again. And I just said to Melvin, hey, man, how much you want for that Blondie book? And Melvin goes, you know what, man? I don't want nothing for it. I'm just going to give it to you. I've known Melvin for a long, long, long time. And his brother. We go back a long way. Melvin may have been at that first ANTiSEEN show. I think he was. If he wasn't the first one, he was at all them early ones after that. I can tell you that right now. That's how long we know each other. He does stuff like that for me. I mean, I appreciate you, Melvin. I owe you one. But, so that's how Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats came to be. Fast forward to sometime in the 2000s. I need to talk to Mad Brother Ward about this, but then we had Jeff Clayton and the Mongrels. Man, ANTiSEEN had hit the ship had gone up on the damn rocks. Our drummer lived in Raleigh, which was my brother at the time. Our bass player lived in Gastonia, which was Doug Knipe at the time. Joe was living back in Lenore, I think. It was just a real pain in the ass for us to get together. And no one seemed interested in doing anything. Matter of fact, that was probably one of the least prolific lineups we ever had. My brother was going through some bad neck and back pain back then. I mean, so bad he had to get surgery on it. And to his credit, I mean, man, he just playing drums and doing any traveling was the last thing on his mind. And man, I hated seeing him that way. But they both agreed to do the I think it must have been the 25-year anniversary show. And at that point, after that, we would have John Bowman and Phil Keller, the New Blood lineup, which itself only lasted 5 years. Not quite. Phil held out a little longer than John, but yeah. But see, that's where the Mongrels came. I mean, it's like, well, goddamn, I got all this energy. I got some people that want to play. Well, we're going to play. And we recorded a single out of that. We recorded more than came out. We had 2 download card tracks. Stupid ass download cards, man. Fuck those damn things. I'm gonna talk to Mark over at TKO and see about releasing maybe a 12-inch version of that record with all the songs on it, if I can track them down. I don't know that I can. We'll see. I may have done some other side shit. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Okay, Simon Stokes. We did Conquer a Worm. And that was just because, wanting to play in a band with Whiskey Rebel. We made a really good record out of that, Conquer a Worm. And I stand by the fact that we turned on most of this underground punk rock audience to the greatness of Simon Stokes, because no one mentioned him to us before that. We were the seekers. We were seeking the truth, and we found it. And we took what we learned and we put it in a nice package for you to teach you, and then you learned. That's how it worked. That's how it went. My main Elvis just reminded me I was also in Alcoholics Unanimous. I guess I did more side projects than I fucking remember. I'm glad you guys remember this stuff, man. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's one of my proudest moments. I love that EP, that Dixie Fried. Alcoholics Unanimous, Dixie Fried. Get it. It's solid gold from beginning to end. I got to work in the studio, Mike Laster studio, where Poison Idea did their stuff, where Rancid Vat did their stuff when they were the Portland version. It was quite an honor. Quite an honor to work with Mike Laster himself. Quite an honor to be an Alcoholics Unanimous singer. And I did a song with the Hookers. Murder in the Graveyard. A Lord Such song. Me and Adam are still talking about that coming out. And it probably will. We always put the link up around Halloween and let people hear it. It was fun. Probably could have been better. I think they did a great job. I think my part could have been better. I felt a little rushed. Not by them, just by the confines of, having to play, rush over to the studio, and then get it done, and get back to do the show. That was mine. And I also did an album with Rupture. I need some hibiscus tea on that. The great, iconic hardcore band from the great country of Australia. You know, where Rose Tattoo's from, but they won't get ANTiSEEN down there. That country is the one I'm talking about. Helen Reddy's from there, too. Another honor. A fella I had the honor of writing and talking to on the phone, Mr. Gus Chamber, passed away way too soon. And the guys had some stuff recorded, and I was quite honored that they asked me to provide lead vocals for half of it. The other half, they got the boss from the great Italian band The Nerds to do the other part. Well, all I gotta say is I was very honored to do my part, and I'm very proud of it. They gave me the lyrics. I'm not sure what I'm talking about on half of it. See, man, if I didn't have y'all here, I would have forgot all this stuff. I thought, man, all I did was Judas Bullethead, Slime Goats, and Mongrels. I forgot all. I just not that I forgot about them, but it's just like I don't sit around thinking about what I've done all the time. to concentrate on what I'm doing and what's on the horizon. Well, fellas, ladies, I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know. I think I went on a little bit too long today, but I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap it up. I'll take it. Wrap it up. Oh, shit. I was on the Black Oak, Arkansas tribute record with Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. I'm going to be on another record with him coming up. I can't, I'm not at liberty to tell you any details yet, but I'm going to be on it. They're going to be backing me up. Oh, yeah. It's going to be wonderful. Go see Janice. Get you a picture. Get a picture direct from Ruby. Very mystical, wasn't it? Well, I've got a sheet full of stuff to talk about for the next little bit. Hopefully I'll be over these damn allergies. And hopefully I have some stuff to show you. Even though it's backwards, hey, you just get over it, man. Get over it, man. Forward, backwards. What's it mean to you? What the hell is it going to matter once we broke on through?